Hello everyone, I am back with new video, and in this video I will be telling you science fiction stories from Vedic and Purana source. So let's go with an intro. Time travel and theory of relativity are still science fiction subjects for present day people, but in Puranas they have been discussed multiple times. One such classic example is that of King Kakudmi and his daughter Revati, who traveled to different loka or dimension and returned to earth in future time. There was a king named Kakudmi. His only daughter, who was named Revati, was so skilled and his own kingdom so vast and prosperous that no prince seemed to match her. Moreover, she wanted to marry the mightiest man on earth. Every other day, the king used to meet a prince, but in vain. The beauty of the princess and the huge kingdom found no match. Finally, when he could not find a man for her, he decided to approach Lord Brahma. He performed yajnas to please Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma was soon pleased and appeared before the Kakudmi and asked him what his desire was. The king, not wanting to discuss the matter before priests, asked Brahma that he be permitted to visit him in his adab. He explained that he wanted to have a private meeting. Lord Brahma gave him a boon that he could visit him in Devaloka once and gave him the powers to visit him. The king, after few days, went to Brahma's adab along with his daughter. When they reached, he found that a court proceeding was going on. Not wanting to disturb the meeting, he decided to wait for some time and proceeded further when the court proceedings were over. When he met Lord Brahma, he explained the whole matter to him. Hearing this, Lord Brahma got worried. The reason for his worries being that a moment in his adab was equal to one yuga on earth. This meant that the girl had become as old as Yuga and the whole empire of the kingdom had to vanish. This worsened the matter even more for Kakudmi and his daughter. By this time, Satyuga has passed and Dwapar Yuga had started on earth. This brought tears to the eyes of king as well as his daughter. The king asked Lord Brahma to find a solution. Since Satyuga has passed and all the kings and their kingdoms along with the princess of her age has died, Lord Brahma told them that the Yuga of Krishna has started. In this Yuga, Lord Vishnu has taken birth as Krishna, the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. He advised them to meet Krishna. The king with his daughter was sent to earth by Lord Brahma. As told by Brahma, they met Lord Krishna and presented the matter before him. Lord Krishna smiled at the king, assured him that he need not to worry, and told him to meet him the next day. Thus the king and the princess left for the day and came back. In the meantime, Krishna had discussed the matter with Balrama. He told the king that a man so suitable for a girl was there, unlike anyone he would have found in Satyuga. Krishna had asked Balrama to marry the beautiful girl of King Kakudmi. The king was delighted to hear that it was Balrama who would marry her. Hence, Revati and Balrama got married. From this story, we get to know the details like living beings in prehistoric period were bigger size and they became smaller in later periods. And you can see a great example of time travel and theory of relativity here before making of Interstellar.
Bro, what's the relation between Interstellar and these Vedic stories?
Actually, people think that what all knowledge we got it from foreigners like Britishers and Mughals.
But it's true, right? What India has given to world? Just zero.
That's why I ask you to see my videos regularly. See my older videos and then repeat the sentence. Let me see.
Okay bro, I'll watch after this.
No, listen, just answer me a simple question. Without satellite and telescope, how someone can say that Earth is round and there are more planets revolving sun?
No, that's not possible.
Fine. Then have you heard name Navagraha?
Yeah.
What is Nava? Nava is 9 and Graha means planet. Is this term got to us after British invade?
I don't know.
Okay, what is Bhugola Shastra?
How do I know?
It's part of Jyotisha Shastra. And at least tell me what is Bhu. Bhu is earth. What is Gola?
A sphere.
So its name itself suggests that earth is sphere. I will talk to you later. Let me complete this video.
I'm sorry.
Whatever. One day, Rama was informed that it was time for him to die. He understood that those who take birth have to experience death. Let Yama come to me. It's time for me to return to Vaikunta, my heavenly adobe, he said. But Yama, the god of death, dared not to enter Ayodhya, as he was afraid of Hanuman, who guarded the gates of Ram's palace. To allow Yama's entry, it was necessary to distract Hanuman. So Rama dropped his ring into a crack in the palace floor and requested Hanuman to fetch it. Hanuman reduced himself to the size of a beetle and entered the crack, only to discover that it was no crack but the entrance to a tunnel that led to Nagaloka, the land of serpents. Hanuman meets Vasuki, the king of serpents, and informed him of his mission. Vasuki took Hanuman to center of Nagaloka, where stood a mountain of rings. There you will surely find Rama's ring, said Vasuki. Hanuman wondered how he would do that, as it was like finding a needle in a haystack. But to his delight, the first ring that he picked up was Rama's ring. To his astonishment, even the second ring he picked up was Rama's ring. In fact, all the rings that made up the mountain were identical. What is the meaning of this? He wondered. Vasuki smiled and said, this world we live in goes through cycles of life and death. Each life cycle of the world is called a kalpa. Each kalpa has 4 yugas or quarters. In the second quarter or Treta Yuga, Ram takes birth in Ayodhya. Then one day his ring falls into subterranean realm of serpents through a tunnel. A monkey follows it, and Ram on earth dies. So it has been for hundreds of thousands of kalpas. All these rings testify to that fact. Vasuki continued. The mountain keeps growing as more rings fall. There is enough space for the rings of future Rama. Hanuman realized that his entry into Nagaloka and his encounter with the mountain of rings was no accident. It was Rama's way of telling him that he could not stop death from coming. Rama would die, the world would die, but like all things, Rama would be reborn each time the world is reborn. So here you can see existence of parallel universe, because if there was only one earth, then there would be only one ring of Lord Rama. In Valmiki Ramayana, Sundarakanda states that Hanuman, on entering Lanka, sees 4 tusked elephants guarding the palace of Ravana. These elephants are very tall, imposing, and have been trained to protect Lanka from invaders. Similar description is given by Trijata in chapter 27 of Sundarakanda. When Sita dreams of Lord Rama coming to Sita's rescue, riding an elephant high as a hill and bearing 4 tusks. These gomphotheres were believed to have existed on Earth in different continents around 12 to 1.6 million years ago. Gomphotheres differ from elephants in their tooth structure, particularly the chewing surface of the molar teeth. Most had 4 tusks, and their retract facial and nasal bones prompt paleontologists to believe that gomphotheres had elephants-like trunks. There is no other book or script in history of mankind which describes about 4 tusked elephant. As they become extinct before many other stories were composed, no author could have seen it except Valmiki. Also, many Western researchers argue that horses first appeared in North America around 60 million years ago as small dog-like creatures and were not introduced to India until 1000 BC. But both Ramayana and Mahabharata have mentioned chariots dragged by horses, Ashwamedha Yaga, performed by kings in ancient India. Also, according to Vedas and Puranas, Dwapar Yuga lasted for 8,64,000 years. Treta Yuga lasted for 12,96 years before Kali Yuga started. It's been 5000 plus years since Kali Yuga started. So sum of all years since beginning of recent Treta Yuga is approximately 2 million years. And this is when skeletons of Gomphotherians were calculated to belong. Even Ram Setu is supposed to build around the same time. So that's it for the video, and keep supporting and watching this channel. Thank you.